Bring your attention to the base of your spine and take an in and an out breath, imagining the breath going into and out through the base of the spine. And then travel a little bit further up along the spine, on the inside of the spine, and breathe in and out at this lower abdominal level. Move your attention a little bit further to the space behind the navel in front of your spine, and breathing in and out here. And moving up a little bit further behind the heart, breathing in and out through the heart space, moving up to the throat and breathing in and out through the throat area. And then bringing your mind and attention to the middle of the forehead, breathing in and out through the third eye. And finally bringing your attention to the top of the head, the crown. And imagine breathing in and out through the crown. Bring your hands together at the heart center. Bring your hands either side of you on the mat to come onto your knees, and then very gently take your time to come to a standing position. Really take your time to roll up vertebra by vertebra to a standing position. And come to the top of the mat. Breathe in and breathe out, bringing your hands to the centre of your heart centre. Breathing in, stretch up. You can look up or look straight ahead. Breathing out, roll down, vertebra by vertebra. The hands come to the mat. Slide the right leg back, the right knee on the ground. And then slide the left knee back. So you're kneeling in a cat position. Dip your back, either looking up or along the floor. And breathing out, roll your chin to your chest. Dip your back, looking either along the mat or looking up. And breathing out as you round your chin to your chest, tuck your toes, and then come into a soft downward dog. Lengthen your spine, and then begin to straighten your legs to walk the dog, bending one knee and then bending the other knee. Then bend both knees back down to the ground, and your hands move to the left to give space for your right foot to come up. Hands now go either side of your right foot. Tucking the back left toes under, lift your back left knee and step your left foot to your right foot. Press your feet into the ground, and you can use your hands to trace your ascent as you come up to standing. And inhaling, raising your hands up, and breathing out, lowering your hands. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, raise your hands up, stretch your fingers, and breathing out, roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Hands either side of your feet. Step or slide your left foot back, your left knee comes to the ground, and then your right foot slides back. There's a button cat. Inhaling, dipping your back. Breathing out, round, chin comes to chest. Inhaling, dipping your back. And breathing out, rounding chin to chest as you tuck your toes, lift one knee and then the other to come into a soft downward dog. Straighten your legs and then bend one knee and then the other knee. one knee and then the other knee. And then bend both knees, coming back down to the mat. And move your hands this time to the right to give space for your left foot to come up. And hands either side of your left foot. Tuck your back right toes underneath. Lift your right knee and step your right foot to your left foot. Press your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Inhaling, raising your arms upwards and stretch your fingers. And breathing out, lower your hands. Come to the centre of your mat, hands together in prayer. And then come to a seated position on the mat. And bring your focus to your base of your spine, almost at the perineum level. Bring the soles of your feet together, they don't have to be right together. And this is a very relaxed pose. This just hold your ankles or your shins, or maybe bring your hands a little bit further down to massage the insteps of your soles of your feet. This is starting at the base chakra, or the energy point, at the base of the spine. Breathing in and breathing out, and imagining the breath coming in and out at the base of the spine. And then take your hands either side under your knees, your legs. Support them as you straighten your legs out along the ground in front of you. Just bounce your legs. And you can use your hands behind you to support you. And then bring your legs into a very soft V. Extend the heels of both feet. Breathing in, raise your hands. They can be softly raised, they can keep a bend in the elbow. And turn towards your left leg. Breathing out, bend your elbows and slide your hands down your left leg. Stay here as you breathe in and breathing out. This is a forward bend and is very calming for the nervous system. And then walk your hands up the left leg. Come back to the centre of your body. Raise your hands gently and softly upwards. And turn towards the right outstretched leg as you bend your elbows and slide your hands down your right leg. Perhaps resting at the shins, wherever it's comfortable for you. And have the sense that you're lifting from the base of the spine and coming forward. You don't have to come very far. Just breathing in and out. And then walking the hands up the right leg. Come back to the centre. Bring your hands to the back to support your weight and bring your legs together. And just once more bounce your legs. And then point your toes and extend your heels. And point your toes and extend your heels. And then circle your ankles a couple of times in one direction. And then circle your ankles a couple of times in the other direction. And spread your toes. And then come into a gentle cross-leg position. If this is not available to you, then just have your legs out in front of you. And breathing out, just engage your perineum upwards and drop your chin to the chest. Hold the breath out as you engage everything upwards. And then when you want to breathe, just breathe in and release and relax your muscles. Breathing out, engage everything upwards. The chin comes to the chest, your perineum engages upwards. Hold the breath out. And breathing in, sit up and release and relax. And then one last time, breathing out as you engage everything up. And then breathing in, just release and relax. And we now move from the base aspect of our base of the spine, the Muladhara energy chakra point, to a little bit further up to the abdominal level. And so to mark that transition, we're going to come onto our hands and knees and do a cat-cow a couple of times before moving on to the abdominal movement. So inhaling, dipping your back, breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Breathing in, dipping your back. And breathing out, chin to chest. And then come to the side. Stretch your legs out in front of you. And then come to lying on your back. You can always take a support under your head. This is helpful to you. And extend your left leg along the mat. Extend the left heel. And hug the right knee into the chest. Take an in and an out breath here. And then breathing out, roll to the left. Your right hip will lift. You can take support under your right knee. And your right hand rests on your right waist. And your head can either look up or it can look away from your right knee to the left. And you have a choice of how much you'd like to move your head. This is a rotation at the lower abdominal level. And then very gently roll onto your back. Hug your right knee in towards you once more, and then just support the right leg as you place the right foot on the ground and extend your right foot out along that. And then hugging your left knee into your chest. Take an in and an out breath. And then very gently roll your entire body to the right so that your left hip lifts off the ground. You can take a support under your left knee. Your left hand can rest on the waist so you're opening out of the left shoulder, opening your lung meridian, and your right hand can just rest somewhere comfortably on your left thigh, and turning your head to either look up or along the side, depending on how much you'd like to turn your head. And then breathing in and out. And then very gently roll onto your back. And hug both knees into your chest. Rocking very gently from side to side. And then supporting your legs by holding underneath your thighs. You can clasp your hands together as you raise your legs upwards towards the ceiling. Your legs can be soft, they can be bent at the knees. And just very gently rock from side to side. And then bending your knees in towards you, hugging your knees into the chest. Support your legs while you place both feet onto the ground. And place your hands on your abdomen as you just gently rock from side to side. And then very gently rolling over to either the right side or coming up to seated position, but we're going to once more, as we roll, gently take the time to come up, come back onto the knees, and we move from the lower abdominal level to the next level up, which is around the navel area and digestion. So We're going to come to cat once more. And just take a moment to bring your focus as you breathe into your abdomen, your navel area. So this obviously supports digestion. And moving just dipping your back, cat, and breathing out, cow. And then bringing your back to neutral. And moving your hands to the left to bring your right foot up. You can bring your right foot outside to the edge of your mat if that's more comfortable for you as you kneel up. And your back left toes can be flat, or in this position they can be tucked under to secure your balance, if that's comfortable for you, might not be. And raising your left hand up, breathing out, turn over your right knee, bring your palms together, resting your left elbow on your right knee, and turn, imagine resting your head on a pillow, so your chin tucks in, and take a couple of breaths here as you breathe in and out. You're stretching the back of the neck. Your chin is into your chest, so it's very, you're activating the vagus nerve, which is implicated in inflammation, so activating it decreases inflammation. And then come out of that by placing one hand either side of your right foot. You can bring your right foot heel turning into the centre, that works for you. And tucking your back left toes under now, if they're not already. Lift your left knee and step your left foot to your right foot. And either hold on your shins anywhere that's good for you to come forward, but if it's accessible to you, to just put your second and third finger under your big toe and your thumb on top. Just take a couple of breaths in a forward bend, wherever it works for you. And then take your hands out, bring your hands to the mat, and come once more back to kneeling. As into cat, as you're dipping your back, cat, rounding your back chin to chest, cow, and bringing your back to neutral. So this time move your hands to the right to give your left foot space to come up. And you might like to move your front left foot slightly out towards the edge of the mat. Your back right toes can stay flat, or they can tuck under according to where you feel most comfortable. And you can use your hands to raise upwards, kneel upwards. And then breathing in, raise your right hand, bending the elbow up. Breathing out as you bring your right elbow across your left leg, hands together, and chin tucks into the chest. If you're being very strict about this, you would aim to have your palms at the heart centre, which is a greater twist. So really, whatever's comfortable for you is absolutely fine. And then breathing out, roll back, hands either side of the front left foot. Move your left toe, feet slightly inwards to centre it, and then tucking your right toes underneath, lifting up and stepping your right foot towards your left foot. And either did as you did before by holding, either on your shins, or holding your big toes underneath your second and third finger and the thumbs on top. Or you could take it one stage further and put your hands underneath your toes. It very much depends on your capacity. But come to a comfortable forward bend. And then move your hands, bend your knees, and come back to line on the ground. And hugging your knees into your chest one more time. Keep your knees hugged into your chest and place your palms down alongside you on the mat. Place your right foot on the floor, your right knee is bent. Breathing in, extend your left leg to the ceiling. Breathing out, bend your left knee in towards your chest, and then carry on, lengthening it out your left leg along the floor. It's a very modified leg lift. Breathing in, bend your left knee into the chest, extending it up to the ceiling and extending your heel if that's appropriate. And then breathing out, bend your left knee back into your chest and straighten your left leg along the floor. And one last time as you bend your left knee in towards you, straighten your left foot up to the ceiling, extending the heel, and then bending the left knee in towards you one last time, straightening your left leg along the floor, and then coming to bending your left knee and resting your left foot on the floor. Bending your right knee into the chest, extending the right leg up to the ceiling and extending the heel, bending the right knee in towards you and then straightening the right leg along the floor. Bending the right knee in, extending the right heel up to the ceiling, bending the right knee in towards the chest and extending the right leg along the floor. And last time, bending the right knee into the chest, extending the right leg up to the ceiling, bending the right knee in and extending the right leg along the floor. And then bend your right knee, so both knees are bent and both feet are hip width distance apart or even wider. And just gently sway your knees from side to side. And then very gently let your knees swing over towards your right or come up to a seated position, taking your time, however that works for you. And we move now on to the next energy level, which is the heart. And the heart's given a lot of movement and postures. So, depending on your knees, the ideal position is to kneel, bringing my right knee in front of the left, and then sitting back, but that's on your heels, but that's a very, that might not work for you. And if that really is not going to work for you, then come out of that and sit with your legs forward and cross one ankle over the other. So it's entirely up to you where you go. So if you're adopting the modified version, just enjoy hands at either side to support you. I'm going to take my left hand, bring it to the outside of my right thigh, and hold my right thigh to support myself. And my right hand goes behind me, pressing down either with the fingers or in my case with my palm onto the floor behind me as I breathe in, lengthening my spine, and breathe out, turn to the right. If you've gone the other way, that's fine. Pressing down as you breathe in, and breathing out, turn. And take an in and an out breath here. This turn or rotation is at the heart centre. Come back to the centre, uncross your ankles, just bounce your legs a couple of times, and then cross your left ankle over your right. Sit up, and then I'm going to bring my right hand to the outside of my left thigh, my left hand behind me, as I press down with my left hand, breathing in as I lengthen, and breathing out as I turn. The head's the last thing to turn. Pressing down as I breathe in, and breathing out. And stay here as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, come to the centre and uncross your legs and just have your feet comfortably apart as you slide your hands down your legs. Have a sense of lengthening from the base of your spine and just slide your hands down into a forward bend. Breathing in and breathing out. Slide your hands up your legs, bend your knees, and we're still at the heart centre as we come onto our knees. And just rock by baby, moving the bottom from side to side. Tuck your toes underneath. Bring your hands towards your knees as you begin to tuck your toes and roll up vertebra by vertebra to a standing position. Take your time and feel that you can use your hands as support against your legs. And come to a standing position. Lift and roll your shoulders. So I'm going to step out with my back to you, and you might follow me better. I'm going to comfortably step out. My legs are forming a comfortable triangle. And feel free to adjust your legs at any point. So my left heel is going to turn out, my toes, left toes turn in. And feel again that you can adjust. And my right toes turn out. So if I were to draw an imaginary line, my front right heel should intersect in the middle of the arch of my back left foot. And then breathing in and breathing out. Place your hands on your waist. This is very modified warrior 2. Turn to look over your right shoulder and soften your right knee, dropping your weight centrally. And then breathing in, straighten your knee. You can either do that again with your hands on your waist, or you can come into more of a warrior by having your hands out, dropping your weight centrally. Your weight is not coming forward, particularly onto your front leg. You're securing the weight with your back foot as well, and then coming up. Just dropping the left palm onto the back left leg, and raising the right hand up, looking upwards to your thumb. And then breathing out now the right hand. Bring your feet parallel, and then alter your position so that this time your right foot, the heel goes out at around 45 degrees or thereabouts, and your left foot turns. And remember that imaginary line. You can just explore initial movement with your hands on your waist, softening your front left knee now as you drop your weight centrally and then coming up. As you drop your weight, so make sure that your knee is not going inwards, that your knee is being supported. You can even put your hand to the inside of your thigh, make sure that happens. And then again, you've got the option to come into warrior. You do put me on the third finger of your left hand for true warrior, and then soften, straighten the leg, and lower your right hand to the back of your right thigh as you raise your left arm upwards and look up towards your left thumb, and then lower your left hand. Bring your feet once more to parallel. And then this is called heel toe. So the heels come in, the toes go out. Toes come in, the heels go out. And do this until you feel that you're comfortable, and then you can come to standing hip width apart. And then just very gently sway from side to side. Just enjoy this very universal movement. It's found in Tibetan yoga, but you find it in other traditions as well. It's moving all your energies, and we are still at the heart centre. And then just come to centre, and checking that your feet are hip width apart. Raise one arm. I'm going to raise my right arm up You can bend it at the elbow. Use your left hand to support against your thigh. As you breathe out, you're only going to tilt a little bit to one side. I'm going to tilt into the left side. Breathe in, coming up, and breathing out, tilting a little bit. Breathing in, and then lowering the hand. So this is the Tibetan equivalent of a triangle. It's very different from a normal triangle. And then bending the left hand up. Use your right hand to support against the thigh. Tummy or lower abdominal muscles come in. Chin tucks in. And then sliding. You imagine between two panes of glass. Breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out, and breathing in, and then lowering the hand. And then join the thumbs together, bend your elbows, as you almost snake your hands up, and then swaying palm tree. This in Ayurvedic practice, and Ayurveda is the medicine side of yoga, is very much anti-pain. It kind of is quite balancing for the body. And just then very gently swaying from side to side. And lower your hands. And on the subject of balance, if you lift and roll the shoulders back, place the hands on the waist. Make any foot adjustment you need to, and just lift your heels. It's a balance. And then breathing out, lower your heels back down to the mat. And just one more time as you lift your heels. And then breathing out, lower your feet, your heels back down to the ground. Release your arms. And then sliding your hands down the front of your legs to come back once more to the mat. I'm going to come to a kneeling position, and then I'm going to come to the side, onto my bottom, come to my back as I hug my knees into my chest. Have your hands palms down, and you have the option to rock to one side, to place one palm underneath your bottom, rock back, and place the other palm underneath. But you don't have to do that. You can place your hands very close to your bottom. Your knees are into your chest, and then raise softly one leg, and then softly the other leg. By what I mean is that you can keep a bend in your knees, and just very gently sway your legs from side to side. It's a seaweed type action as you imagine a piece of seaweed floating in the water as the tide comes, or waves wash over the seaweed, very gently from side to side. And then hugging your knees once more into your chest. And we're still at the heart area, and we're going to carry on being at the heart area. Roll, place your feet on the ground, and then roll to one side. And come to lying on your abdomen or your tummy. So when you come to lie on your abdomen, you'll notice you can have your elbows slightly further out. This is a very modified, it's a Sphinx modification. Have your elbows where you're comfortable, and you can look downwards so that your neck is not being bent in any way. It's just looking along the ground. The back of your neck is what they call long. And you can let your heels drop out to the side and wobble your bottom from side to side. This is really helpful if you've been doing a lot of gardening, and it's called a sacroiliac SIS stabilizer. And then very, very gently slide your elbows out, and you can have your hands one on top of the other, or make fists with your hands to rest your forehead on your fists or on the backs of your hands, and you can turn your head to the side if that's more comfortable. Bend at the knees, and you might like to have your knees slightly wider apart as you just very gently sway your legs from side to side. And then gently bring your legs, your feet to the centre. Lower your feet back onto the ground, and you might like to bring your knees slightly closer together to straighten your legs out. Now from here we would come on to a child's pose, which traditionally you would slide your hands back, elbows in, press down with your hands, and your elbows would be hugging your body. That's quite strong, and by all means do that to come into child, but you might like a softer version of rolling onto the side, bending your knees up, and then coming up. So you take whichever version you feel might be appropriate for you today. And then coming to a child, or a modification of a child. So knees out to the side. Bring your bottom towards your heels. The bottom doesn't have to go straight down. And there are so many versions of child. You can have classic with your head down and palms turned upwards. That very much releases along the lower back. That might be too much for you, so you can have your hands forward, slightly stretched out, very much stretched out, and you can equally have your hands coming back in again, making fists again, so that your forehead is not quite so far down. Adopt what's good for you. Just take a couple of breaths. Again, this variation of a child, or any child, is calming the nervous system. And you'll notice that as the spine stretches in this direction, you're giving, the vertebra has additional space between them, and so you're encouraging the breath into the back. And then bring your hands palms down onto the mat. Bring your knees slightly in. I'm not going to suggest by any means that we do a headstand, but there is an invitation to slide your hands back, elbows are in, and the invitation is just supporting your head. If you don't like to do this, then that's absolutely fine. But I'm just slightly rolling my head, bringing all the weight into my hands. So it's stimulating the top crown chakra along the head, but if that's not great for you, then please leave it. Come back to child's pose for a moment, taking the breath in and out. And then roll to the side, extend your feet out, and come with moving beyond the heart and moved up towards the throat. Come to lying on your back. Your knees are bent, feet are hip width apart. And have one hand on your abdomen, it doesn't matter which hand, and one hand at your chest level, with your elbows hopefully resting on the ground to make it softer for you. So your hand might rest lower than chest level, so rested on the ground. And as you breathe here in and out, just gently turn your head from side to centre and to side again. You can extend your legs out into full relaxation, Shavasana or corpse pose, or you can keep them bent. You can also keep the knees touching and the feet out at the side. Just be comfortable. And bringing your attention to the base of the spine where we first started. This is the base or Muladhara chakra. Breathing in and out, and imagine your breath travelling in and out through the base chakra. It's to do with our survival. Of course, it's our reproduction system, but it is our basic survival instinct. It's something we share with all the animal kingdom, of course. And then it's the element of earth, and it connects to the sense of smell. And just let your attention run slightly up along the inside of your spine to the lower abdominal level. And this, as you imagine breathing in and out here, connects to the sacral chakra, the next sacral chakra up, and it has the element of water. And it connects to the kidneys and the adrenals, sitting on top of the kidneys. In balance, where the energy runs through unimpeded, it's equated with the emotion of joy, but out of balance, it can equally be the emotion of fear. Breathing in and out here, the element of water, and in this system, the colour would be orange. And then moving your attention one energy level up to behind the navel. So this connects to the digestive system, the Manipura chakra, or energy point, where nerves and energies kind of meet and cross over. So you need a strong digestion to process everything in our lives, and it reflects on inner power, and it connects to the element of fire, so that's not surprising. And the digestive enzymes. And then moving a little bit further up to the area behind the heart. And here we worked both at the front of the heart doing Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, and we still carried on the heart as we were lying on our tummy. So the heart had a lot of movement associated with it, untying the knots of our heart. And here the element is air, and of course it connects to our element of love and compassion. And here this colour would be either green or pink. And it connects to our sense of touch, so our hands link very much to the heart. And let your focus just travel slightly up now to the throat area. That centre of communication, linking our body with our mind, and where so often there is a discord, what we say is not what we feel, and vice versa. And they can show up in the neck. And here the colour would be blue, traditionally. Connects also, of course, to the respiratory centre, but the heart as well. They're very interconnected in these energy levels. And the glandular aspect here would be the thyroid and the parathyroid, which is part of our metabolic control. And let your attention wander up a little bit further. So the throat is ether, and then the next level up is also ether. The third eye, the forehead, move the forehead. And this is our centre of intuition, our centre of knowledge. Imagine your focus here, breathing in and out through the third eye. And then finally, let your mind travel to the top of the head, the crown of the head. It's where everything unites, where we connect with the outside world. Colour here can be white, a combination of colours. You can also imagine gold or silver. And breathing in and out through the crown of the head. And again, it's the elements of ether. And we've gone through and balanced each energy point, both physically and emotionally, today. So take a moment to choose a colour, any colour that you resonate with today. And as you breathe in, imagine breathing in that colour through the base of the nostrils to a point at the centre of your head. And like a shower, mist the air all the way down, from the head all the way down through the body, leading through the soles of the feet. And once more, breathe in your coloured air through the nostrils to a point at the centre of your head, and mist it all the way down through your body, leading through the soles of your feet. And this time, as you breathe in your coloured air, both inside and imagine it just outside your body, imagine you being bathed in your colour of your choice today, offering and conferring protection for the day ahead. And then you can either stay here, relaxing on the mat, or you can come to finish the class, in which case take your time to roll to one side to come up to a seated position, but please stay if you would like to stay. And bow your head, taking a bow for yourself for a lovely day ahead. And thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you.